Well, good morning, everybody, and I'd like to welcome everybody to the Central Region Hearing Board. And we're going to go ahead and get things started, and I'll ask if you'll please call the roll.
Mr. Hartwig?
Present.
Mr. Mulligan?
Here.
Mr. Robertson?
Here.
Dr. Goodwin? Here. Mr. Soldani? Through the chair, we have quorum.
Thank you. And he'll be excited to learn that he's now also
He's promoted.
doctor and Juris Doctor and all kinds of stuff now. So, yeah, exactly. So let's move on then to the next item then. Does anybody have any corrections or additions to the minutes of our last board meeting? And if not, I'll ask somebody to make a motion to approve our consent calendar, please.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Dr. Goodwin made a motion and Andy seconded. And
did we need to address the interim date?
Yes, we can.
Is now the time, or do we do?
That this means central hearing? Was that the central region?
You guys
last
heard
time?
the central interim, didn't you?
Central.
That was
Because it was in the, I thought we had another facility.
in the south. Remember, and then
Oh, that's right. We were here. I forget, because we were in this room. I was just thinking
yes, it was not this. It was
I'm
not
sorry.
this region. Southern people. Yes.
That's right. Hey, Mueller was here. Okay.
Yes, we had a Southern Hearing Board member attend in the central region,
Okay.
so little confusion.
That's all.
Not this region.
I'm easily confused. So
Oh,
that's,
trust me, I got you beat.
Well, good to know, Clay. So, with that, we have a motion on the floor and a second. So, all those in favor of accepting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the motion carries unanimously. Thank you. That takes us then to the next thing, which is our public hearing. So, I'm going to ask any witnesses who intend to testify today to please stand and raise your right hand so that the board can swear you in. That includes anybody on the petitioner side as well. So just as FYI, perfect. Well, all witnesses who intend to testify today, please stand and raise your hand so that the board may swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matters pending before the hearing board today shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Signify. Thank you. By shaking your head or saying aye. There you go. We don't have anybody online that, or we did have somebody online that perfect. So they're good. So I saw that. So let's call then Vitro Glass, which is docket number C-24-09S, a short variance. If Vitro petitioner would come forward and introduce himself. And
Jonathan Garcia, environmental coordinator for Vitro Architectural Glass.
Perfect. And then Will Estella, what do we got? Perfect.
Good morning. My name is Will Kuhn. I'm an air quality specialist here at the district. And before you today is Vitro Flat Glass LLC. Vitro operates a 206 MMBTU per hour natural gas-fired furnace that heats raw material into molten glass to produce flat architectural glass. To control SOx and PM, the exhaust gas is routed through a wet scrubber and an electrostatic precipitator, or EP. The EP operates by establishing a high voltage electrical charge in the discharge plates inside the unit. PM from the exhaust stream passes through the discharge plates, receiving an electrical charge. The charged particulate is then deposited on the grounded collector plates and is knocked off with pneumatic wrappers, falling into a hopper and routed back into the glass manufacturing process. Vitro staff routinely monitor the EP voltage for changes in the field strength, which is an indication of material buildup in the EP that leads to a loss of power. Vitro has determined that an EP cleanout is needed to maintain compliance with district rules. During the cleanout, Vitro also plans to replace the Field 2 electrical transformer and the variable frequency drive on the fan motor. In addition, Vitro's facility-wide permit in District Rule 4101 limits visible emissions to no more than Ringelmann 1 or 20% opacity for more than 3 minutes in any 1 hour. Vitro expects excess visible emissions to be as high as 60% opacity, with the emissions control equipment being bypassed. During bypass, the exhaust stream will be diverted to the bypass stack. This will also bypass the SEMS and the COMS required by the permit and Rule 4354, which are both located in the main stack. Vitro estimates this project will take less than 6 days to complete, In addition, Vitro permit conditions limit visible emissions to 20% opacity, and they are expecting visible emissions to be as high as 40 to 60% opacity during the variance period. Therefore, Vitro has requested a short variance, which will be effective from June 2nd, 2024 to June 8th, 2024. If granted, the variance would allow the continued operation of the glass melting furnace and continued glass production while bypassing the emission control and monitoring systems so Vitro can perform the maintenance on the EP and ancillary equipment. In addition to the variance, will allow excess visible emissions during this bypass. Vitro would lose $200,000 per day due to lost sales, labor costs, and energy costs if they were not allowed to continue to manufacture glass. The district believes the required findings as set forth in California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that Vitro be granted a short variance with the conditions on pages 4 and 5. And this concludes the district's presentation.
Thank you. Ms. Garcia, do you have anything to add or a presentation to make, or?
No additions, this is our annual meeting set down for our EP to maintain the best operation.
Okay, appreciate that. Do we have any questions? Andy,
Yep.
I know you've got questions, so.
First time this year doing this maintenance? Do you expect it to be the only time this year?
That's correct.
Okay. This field two electrical transformer, what does that provide power to?
So there are a total of 3 fields within the EP system, and this is one specific field out of the 3. And what we've seen is a decline in the output, so it's time for us to go over there and change that transformer.
Okay, so if you didn't piggyback this on the EP cleaning, you'd have to take a separate outage for this. So, okay, so it looks like good planning to me. Okay, and the VFD also, you had problems with that?
Yes, that is the fan that drives the movement of airflow.
Yep. Okay.
Any other questions? Gary?
Yeah, simple. When you read the read the requirements, any questions on the requirements?
I have no question.
Thank you, that's a good one. Is there any member of the public that wishes to comment on this matter? I see none, but
Do we have any public comments in Bakersfield?
No public comment in Bakersfield.
Any public comments in Fresno? No public comments in Fresno, none online.
thank you very much. So, with that then, I would ask if anybody's, Kelly.
Can you add to the record that we have a board member that just joined us?
Mr. Saldani is now in the meeting.
Thank you very much, yeah. Okay, with that housekeeping bit taken care of, does any member of the hearing board wish to make a motion at this time?
I will.
Thank you.
I move to approve Vitro Glass LLC's petition for a short variance set forth in docket number C-24-09S with the required 6 findings of the Health and Safety Code adopted by reference as set forth in the staff report. The variance shall be effective from June 2, 2024 to June 8, 2024, or until the maintenance is completed and the emissions control equipment has been returned to compliant operation, whichever occurs first, and shall be subject to conditions on pages 4 to 5 of the staff report.
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Goodwin. All right, if you'd please call the roll for us.
Mr. Hartwig,
Yes.
Mr. Mulligan,
Yes.
Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Mr. Saldani.
Aye.
Through the chair, motion passes.
Thank you very much. And you're good to go. Thank you. All right, that takes us then to docket B here, C-24-11S, a short variance for Chevron Cogen. I'm assuming they're based out of Bakersfield. That's our petitioner on online down there. If I can't really tell if they would please identify themselves, please.
Good morning, Tiffany White-Legue with Chevron Air Assurance Specialist.
Thank you. And go ahead.
Can you please spell your last name for the record? Yes, it's White, W-H-I-T-E hyphen Legue, L-A-G-U-E.
Thank you very much. And Estella, I'm assuming you're handling this. All right.
Yes, good morning. My name is Estela Soto, and I'm a senior air quality specialist here with the district. And before you is Chevron Cogeneration Company, or Chevron. Chevron operates an 86.4 MMBTU per hour gas turbine as part of a cogeneration system, Cogen 25D, that generates electricity and steam at the Colinga lease within Fresno County. Exhaust gas from the turbine is routed to a heat recovery steam generator system, which also utilizes a 36.4 MMBTU per hour natural gas-fired duct burner to generate high-pressure steam for thermally enhanced oil recovery. The combustion turbine uses water injection and a selective catalytic reduction system to control NOx emissions. District rules and Chevron's permit conditions require them to certify, maintain, operate, and quality assure a continuous emissions monitoring system, or CEMS, designed to measure and record the NOx, CO, and O2 concentrations of the exhaust gas in order to demonstrate compliance with their emissions limit. Chevron has determined that the existing CEMS is approaching the end of its life and that hardware consisting of analyzers and sample lines will need to be upgraded to ensure proper operation of the CEMS in the future. Once the new analyzers and the sample lines are installed and calibrated, the CEMS will begin collecting data. However, the data will not be valid until the system successfully completes a testing and certification process, including a 7-day drift test and a relative accuracy test audit, or RATA. Chevron is seeking a variance to allow them to continue to operate while the new analyzers and the sample lines are installed, tested, and the CEMS is recertified. During the variance period, the emissions control equipment will continue to function as designed, and Chevron will log all the operating data in order to demonstrate compliance with the emission limits of the permit. No excess emissions are expected. Therefore, Chevron has requested a short variance from the applicable requirements of district rules in addition to the applicable conditions of the subject permits. The requested variance will be for a 60 non-consecutive day period to occur sometime between May 15th, 2024 and July 30th, 2024 inclusive. If granted, the variance will allow Chevron to operate without a certified CEMS while the new analyzers and sample lines are installed and the CEMS is recertified. The district believes that the required findings set forth in the California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that Chevron be granted a short variance with conditions on pages 3, 4, and 5 of the staff report. And that concludes the district's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll ask the petitioner if there are any comments or anything that they'd like to, or presentation they'd like to make.
No, thank you very much, Estella, for helping us prepare the package, and thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Andy, go ahead.
Yeah, for the petitioner, how often does the plant operate right now?
How often does it operate?
Yeah.
24/7.
Okay, so continuous operation.
Mhm.
And you anticipate that during the variance period as well?
Yes, that's the intention, with the exception of making these upgrades. Downtime, I'm assuming, yeah.
Okay, so you won't be able to monitor emissions while you're continuing to operate?
Yes, that's
Okay.
my understanding, yes.
Okay, do you know who the manufacturer is of your current CEMS?
No, I
They're no
don't.
longer, so, okay. When, without the CEMS, how are you gonna control ammonia injection to the SCR to maintain emissions below your permit limit?
I'm not sure. I'm filling in for someone today. Those questions can be answered if you would like an answer to that question. I don't want to speak to something I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
on how to answer the question.
the assumption here is that you're gonna maintain operation, and you'll be compliant, but typically the CEMS is used for feedback to your emissions control equipment, which is your ammonia injection and your water injection. So without that CEMS equipment, I'm asking how you're going to operate that system now without that feedback, because you're removing the CEMS, you're removing the sampling system. You can operate it in manual?
Again, I'm not sure how to answer the question, but I can get you an answer, definitely. The gentleman that prepared the petition is in Salt Lake City, and so I'm filling in for him today. I'm actually on vacation, so I can get you an answer to your question. I don't want to speak to that, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Estella, would you may know how they intend to operate?
No.
Well, they're gonna have the time when they're putting in the new system. And then they'll have a system in there. Now, the 60 days is for the certification, obviously. There is an assumption that it's gonna be working accurately.
Yeah.
We don't determine that till we get through the whole certification process. So I think initially, like when you guys have done SIMS upgrades, you use that SIMS prior to being certified to give your feedback as far as.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about they're gonna be
When they're
without their
actually
SEMs.
doing that.
They're pulling their SEMs out and they're pulling out all their sampling, so they're blind to their
Yeah.
emissions. But their emissions control system uses that system for feedback. And in the report, they're saying no anticipated excess emissions.
In the cell.
Tiffany, do you know if we were to take a break, would you be able to find get an answer for us?
Yes, I can call Tim. Yes, I'll call him. He's available. I'm just standing in for him today. So I don't operate the equipment. I'm an air specialist in the Central Valley. So I don't want to speak to something that I'm not 100% sure. So
Sure.
just to make sure I understand, can you restate the question
Yeah,
exactly?
the question is, how do you intend to operate your emissions control equipment without the SEMs?
Got it.
Specifically ammonia injection and water injection.
Okay. I
And we'll
will,
take-
And
oh,
Mr. Chair, if you're okay with taking a
Yeah, I was
10-minute
gonna say
break.
let's just take a quick 5-minute recess real quick while we gather the information. And then actually, let me just, while we're to be in the entrance of everybody's time, are there any other questions, like technical questions that maybe could get answered and that, Jerry, I don't know if you were gonna ask anything, or Andy, if you had any follow-ups?
I had the same question for Ben.
Okay. Very technical specific
Yeah,
questions, yes,
yeah.
engineering.
And then, yeah,
Turn your microphone on.
Okay. No, but I just want to make sure if there's any other questions. That way we don't have to take a secondary, recess or anything
yeah,
like
do you,
that. so.
also, do you have a RADA tester scheduled? Because those guys book up pretty quickly.
RATA, R-A-T-A, yeah.
So
do we
maybe
have a
that question
RADA?
is,
Go ahead.
sorry, maybe that question, maybe or maybe not, is addressed in number 14. If you, says, if you read that, they'll continue to measure and record emissions from the cogeneration units, and they'll just be doing so with equipment that does not meet the permit conditions. Okay. But that will admit internal quality assurance measures to validate emission accuracy, and those emissions will continue to be reported and deemed accurate. I don't know if that goes to your question. It's like they're operating both in tandem. while they're
Well,
doing
that
the-
could be.
Yeah.
I just need that clarified, because typically when you pull out the emissions monitoring equipment, it's not done in tandem, but
Yeah,
maybe they're planning for that.
well, they are. If you look at 12, they're gonna be running both of them simultaneously.
Oh, okay.
I think that might address the issue.
Okay, I'm good.
All right, easy enough.
Yep.
All right, well,
So we don't need the
Yeah.
break, or we do?
You don't need the break. I'm
Okay.
good.
no break.
You didn't know you had an expert on the panel here.
Yeah, great job, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for doing your.
That's why we have the lawyer.
I gotta make up for being late.
So, all right, are there any other questions, and since that concern has been resolved? Jerry, you're good? Good. Dr. Goodwin?
I'm good.
Mr. Donnie, everybody's good, then if everybody's good, I'll ask then if there are any members of the public that wish to comment on this matter.
Is it okay if I interject something?
Yeah,
I don't know if we have answered, Andrew.
Turn your microphone.
I don't know if we've answered your question, Andrew. I appreciate 14, but it's not clear to me that there's going to be like there's no interruption when they're replacing it. It seems like that's addressing.
Well, 12 says that it's in tandem with the existing
Right.
equipment, so
All
maybe
right.
that, I don't know if that gets.
I was
Yeah.
looking at 14, I apologize.
Sure, what I'm assuming is they're gonna put the new one in and then get it up and running, and then they'll remove the old one, and the
Yes.
new one will be providing the feedback for their emissions control equipment.
And let's note that the petitioner said, yes, that is in
Yes.
fact their intent.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's good planning.
I'm sorry, I was looking at 14, I apologize.
There's a lot of moving parts here, today, so appreciate everybody's feedback. So everybody, Yeah. Yeah. With that, if there's no public comment, which I don't believe there was.
Is there any public comments in Bakersfield?
No public comment in Bakersfield?
None in Fresno and none online.
Thank you very much. With that, then I will ask if anybody'd like to make a motion.
I figure I should. I move to approve Chevron Cogeneration Corporation's petition for a short variance set forth in docket number C-24-11S with the required 6 findings of the Health and Safety Code adopted by reference as set forth in the staff report. Variance shall be effective for a 60 non-consecutive day period to occur sometime between May 15th, 2024 to July 30th, 2024 inclusive, or until the new analyzers and sample lines are installed and the SEMS is certified, whichever occurs first, and shall be subject to conditions on pages 3 to 5 of the staff report.
Second. 3, I think it was, you said 4 to 6 though, didn't you?
3, 4, and 5.
3, 4, and 5, okay, perfect. Okay, perfect, then. I just want to make sure we're getting those right then, so, and then we had a second.
Second.
All right, thank you. All right, if you please call the roll for us on that.
Mr. Hartwig,
Yes.
Mr. Mulligan,
Yes.
Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin, Mr. Saldani.
Aye.
Through the chair, motion passes.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. And thanks for everybody having some good discussion here today. That takes us then to item number 5, which is general public comments. All the listing of the rules around our public comments are listed in the agenda. Do we have any members of the public that wish to make a comment on anything that might appear before this board?
Any public comments in Bakersfield?
No public comment in Bakersfield.
No comments in Fresno and none online.
Thank you. Takes us to item number 6. Any member of the hearing board wish to make a comment today?
Just a question of staff. Do we anticipate we'll have any items for June as we sit here today?
We have that. Do we have anything for June? We have not. As of today, I don't remember having any petitions.
No, you know, and Mr. Soldani, a lot of times we'll get a phone call and they start probing scenarios. I have not had one of those yet for June.
Okay.
But that, you know, there's still time for that to happen.
What is the deadline to make,
For a short would be 10 days out before, you know, so somebody could submit a short right at 10 days. You know, if it's a regular, it's 30, but
June 9th then?
so we'd know by the end, you know, by whatever 10 days out is.
Mhm.
If you need us to like follow up with you, if, okay.
All
On
right.
that note, June 19th is a federally recognized holiday. We do work, the district is open that day. Before we get to starting to set the agenda, is everybody available June 19th? Or
What's the holiday?
it's Juneteenth.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So
Okay.
schools and other,
Well, they'll be, well,
facilities
schools will
are-
be out of school by then anyway, I would assume.
well, even summer school will be off as well. So just throwing that out there. If nobody has conflicts as of right now, then we'll leave it on June 19th.
I don't anticipate that being an issue. All right. Well, a lot of discussion today. I like this. All right. New business and any new business? I see none on that, which takes us to item number 8, adjournment. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.